Welcome back to another medical horror stories. Crazy things happen in medicine, and we're here to share those stories with you. We have a tale of a medical oddity for you today. We took that tale and related it to the artificial intelligence ChatbotGPT and told it to create a horror script. This is that story. You'll be amazed by the strange and frightful things that dwell within the human body. Come closer, focus in, and we'll tell you the tale of the woman from Metro Raja. For the purpose of confidentiality, we'll call this woman Rosa. Rosa had been experiencing heavy bleeding and pain. She felt tired. Sometimes she would pass out. Doctors had tried many different medicines and nothing worked. After several months, she got to the breaking point and she went to the emergency room. On the exam table, the nurse examined her and yelled out, "You have a baby's head in your vagina." The woman was horrified. She'd never been pregnant. And yet, somehow she felt there was some monstrous creature inside her. Several doctors came in, each trying to deliver the baby's head, but it was too large and deeply embedded. Doctors and nurses moved around frantically in the room. They pulled and she screamed, but the head wouldn't move and she continued to bleed. They started an IV, they started a second IV, they prepared for the worst. And then the team brought in an ultrasound and they imaged, and there was no baby. The doctors were dumbfounded. They didn't know what to do. They called the gynecologist. In the meantime, they kept pulling to try to deliver the bodiless baby's head. Minutes passed and the room got more tense, and the fear of uncertainty started to creep into everybody's mind. When the gynecologist doctor arrived, he looked again with the ultrasound, didn't see a heartbeat. He saw the uterus. The gynecologist dropped the ultrasound and yelled out, "Stop pulling! You're gonna kill her!" It was a mass that had protruded from the uterus, a muscle tumor, and it had worked its way into the vagina, but it was deeply attached to the giant vessels in the pelvis that gave it blood supply. It actually turned out to be a good thing that they couldn't deliver the mass. To do so would have meant opening large vessels and certain death. Her bleeding slowed and a calm came across the room. The doctor told her that it was a tumor, a mass, probably benign, but it could be cancer. And it was so deeply embedded with such big vessels that only the most skilled of surgeons could remove it safely. She was discharged from the emergency room, but she couldn't get over the anxiety, the fear that this mass would somehow be the end of her. Through her network of friends, she was able to get an immediate appointment with a famous specialist robotic surgeon. The surgeon immediately did a biopsy, which turned out benign and gave her a great deal of relief. But the challenge that lay ahead was to perform the hysterectomy with these massively dilated vessels in a safe way, with minimal blood loss and in a way that didn't injure the surrounding organs. The woman was overjoyed with her painless recovery and thanked her surgeon. But as she'd lie there in the hospital bed, she couldn't shake the feeling that something had been left behind. She could feel something shifting and wriggling inside of her, something that refused to die. The woman's fears were confirmed in the middle of the night when a small, grotesque creature crawled out of her wounds and scurried across the floor. She screamed in terror, but before anyone could come to help, the creature disappeared into the darkness, leaving the woman to wonder what horrors lay inside her. The woman's story spread like wildfire amongst the medical community, and the surgeon became known as the one who unleashed this nightmare upon the world. So as you can imagine, the part of the story up until the recovery was all true. Those things all happened. You can imagine that the AI chatbot got a little crafty with the grotesque creature part, but I thought it was fun, so we included it. Dr. Rich was that surgeon, and the patient was extremely grateful. She even made me a cutting board for cutting out the fibroid mass. Let us know in the comments section if you enjoyed this story, and make sure you subscribe, or the fibroid tumor cancer baby will haunt your dreams.